Hello there, Mr. Salas here. So, you read the title and you're thinking, okay, I want to improve my pronunciation. But you may actually be wondering about accent. That's what you might actually mean that you're doing or trying to do. You want to improve your accent. You don't like the way you sound, like your English is not as good as you think it could sound like. So I understand that. That's completely fine. First of all, and this is the point I'll address in Spanish. ¿Por qué no estoy haciendo este video en español? Es simplemente porque si no estás en el punto en el que puedes entender este video completamente en inglés, quiere decir que aún no vale la pena ni que te preocupes por cambiar el acento ni por ajustar la pronunciación, en mi opinión. So, with that said, let's start with 5 really easy tips you can start doing right now to improve your pronunciation or your accent, which is what you probably mean in English. Let's go for it. Okay, the first one is the tongue exercise. This is one I love to do first of all because it's so easy, but at the same time so weird. So what you have to do is like you get a pen. Remember, it has to be clean, right? Because you're gonna put it in your mouth. So you take your pen, right? And what you have to do is you actually have to take your tongue, your tongue here, and you put your pen under your tongue, like so. Yeah, and you bite on it. Don't bite your tongue, please. So you take your pen, you put it under your tongue, remember, and you bite. Like this. And then, after you have done that silly thing I just did, you have to go through all the alphabet. What do I mean? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, blah, blah. So all that stuff, you have to do it continuously. So for instance, let's try it right now. So, you put it there. A, B, C, D, E, F. If you feel like you want to move your tongue or like it's going in, bite a little harder. Just be careful, do not break your teeth. But you have to bite a little harder because the idea is that you don't move your tongue from that place. And after you're done, you will go through the whole alphabet again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So I have to kind of bite in some of the words because I feel like my tongue wants to go back in. So after you do that, you actually remove your pen from your mouth. Well, it's gonna be very rinsed by then. And after that, what you have to do, it's you actually have to just repeat the same thing without the pen. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, right? So you're done with that, and after you do all this stuff, why is this good or why does it work? Because you're forcing your tongue into one place, and that's usually where the tongue has to be for most of the words and letters and how they are pronounced in English. So your tongue will stay in one position. That will strengthen your tongue for any other sounds you might have to do later. So after you relieve the pressure of the pen and you do it again, and you will do it again. Like you will actually take your pen again and put it again over there. So this will go like pen in, pen out, basically, and you do that for a couple of minutes. I would say about 10 minutes if you have the time. And I think it's a really good exercise for starting, like to get into the mood of the English. Now, another thing you could do right now, just start doing right now after you watch this video, is just open your mouth. That is so easy, and people don't do it. They don't open their mouth. They're like, okay, so I had to talk about, I have to pronounce words or something, and they're just like, okay, so if you speak English, like not open your mouth a lot, you see, it's really hard to make the sounds that I was making before. Maybe I sound fine, yes, but it's harder to not open your mouth because all the sounds in English are usually created because you're opening your mouth a lot. Have you seen people talking in English, like speaking in English for a long time, like in front of people? They usually open their mouth a lot. So, and this is not necessary. It's not like you have to open your mouth a lot in English. That's not true. But it helps a lot for us Spanish speakers because in Spanish we don't tend to open our mouths that much. I mean, like to pronounce words or something. So this makes you enunciate a little easier. Like every single word will be a little easier to actually pronounce. So that's what I would say you have to do. Open your mouth, exaggerate basically. Exaggerate, go crazy with it. Like try to do everything you can, everything possible, just to open your mouth. Try to talk, you know, exaggerate every single word you see. For instance, the letter V, right? V. So just say it. Just say V. V. Exaggerate. No one actually says it that way. That is okay. That's completely fine. Just exaggerate so the sound actually comes out the way you intend it to. So, for instance, you can say very. I'm very happy, right? Instead of very happy. No, very happy. Exaggerate. Obviously, with time, you will find, you know, that you might not want to open your mouth so much all the time, but then you'll realize that you're talking to someone and you're opening your mouth too much, and that's a little bit awkward maybe. Okay, just close it a little and you'll start finding your pace. You'll start find like you will start to find out where you can open your mouth, where you cannot open your mouth, or how much you have to open it so it sounds right. So for me, like, if you notice, like, I can actually kind of make the same voice or sounds and pronunciation and accent even if I don't open my mouth that much. But at the beginning, believe me, I was opening my mouth a lot all the time, pronouncing everything I could. And yes, you will throw saliva all over the place. That's normal. That's completely normal. Just embrace the spit, basically. So another very easy tip you can start doing right now is use your throat. We as Spanish speakers, we don't use our throat when talking. I mean, obviously we use it because we use the vocal cords, sure. But what I mean is, like, most of the sounds come from just like the mouth. It's like what creates sound. Let me show you. Right now, I'm making the sound vibrate and come from very deep in my throat in English, like from around, I would say around here, and I'm like using that as like the boombox for my voice basically. Whereas in Spanish, you don't do that. Like, for instance, this is me talking normally. This is how I speak English, you know? Like, this is my accent or my pronunciation, as you wish to call it. But if I stop using my throat, do you see? That's a big difference. Do you listen to this? This is why you sound Mexican or you sound Latin. That's the problem. You're not using your throat anymore. You're just, oh, this is very relaxing. I swear, this is very relaxing. It's very relaxing to speak like this all the time because you're not using your throat, so you're just talking like this, and it's fine. You don't. I'm not making any effort in my R's, for example. Do you notice that? I'm not making any effort in my TH, right? So even if I sound correct, I mean, this is fine. This is good pronunciation. The problem is that the accent is not very good. So I think now, on reflex, you know, I talk with my throat, and that's the difference. You hear the big difference now, and it's because I'm forcing myself to use my throat a lot more than I'm using my mouth to create the sounds, and that's like the big difference with my accent. If you notice, like I'm not doing anything differently. It's just that I'm using more my throat, and to be fair, I am taking care of pronouncing the R's in the correct way, my THs maybe, some pacing issues as well, but most of this is just really my throat. That's about it. That's the most important thing, and it's something that takes time because it's not easy to speak with your throat all the time, especially if you're used to speaking Spanish with your mouth only, basically, and it's a little hard at the beginning. I have to be honest with you, but it makes such a big difference. So those were 3 tips you can just do with right now, with what you have right now, with your voice, with your throat or whatever. But what about something a little bit more, you know, like down to earth, a little bit more like I have to study for it? Okay, 2 things. Very easy. I will not spend much time with them because I have made videos about them. One of them is phonetics. Yes, sorry, phonetics is really good for this. You have to learn how to pronounce the words, how they sound like, the pronunciation, the accent or whatever, but how the actual word is pronounce. That's a very important thing to say. And so phonetics, I made a video. You can watch it here. I'll leave it in the description as well. If you want to see like my guide for phonetics and how it works and why it works that way, you can do that. You just learn phonetics and start to read the words, apart from just trying to pronounce them. And the most important tip, definitely the most important tip is this one. Shadowing, which I also made a video. I have made a lot of videos about shadowing. I have made lots of videos about it, and shadowing is really good because it allows you to listen to a native speaker talking, and then you can actually just imitate them and just say the same words, but with the native speaker as your guide, and that's really good. It doesn't matter that you don't actually know how they're saying it. Just try to imitate it, because imitating it goes a long way. It's so important because eventually you'll get the whole idea of, oh, right, so this is how that word sounds, and I know this is how I'm supposed to say it. These are 5 tips you can start doing right now. 3 of those are basically just your body. How can you use your body to improve? And the other 2 I have already made videos about it, and you can just find all about it here in the videos that I told you. So remember that pronunciation is not just magic. I mean, it doesn't just happen. That's it. No, you have to kind of actively learn and try and practice all the time. And the accent. I mean, accent is, I think, the most difficult thing to erase from yourself. You will always have some sort of accent. I mean, that's unavoidable. And I think it's really hard to remove someone's native accent. That will just happen. Just embrace it, okay? Even people tell me all the time that they like the way I sound, but even I have an accent, and every person has an accent. It's noticeable for native speakers. I swear to you, I have never been mistaken by a native speaker anywhere. I mean, just by other Mexicans, surely, maybe I have, I think, a couple times. But by native speakers, not once. Not once has it happened to me. Why? Because it's very obvious when a person is not a native speaker. Don't feel bad about it. That's just normal. Okay? So just try to do this, and please let me know if it actually helped you. And well, hopefully you can tell me in the comments. Maybe do you have any other options, any other things you like to do? If you have any of that, please leave me your thoughts in the comments. I would love to read them. I love all about this phonetic stuff. Okay, saludos a todos nuestros alumnos autodidactas y futuros políglotas. Class dismissed.